सब्सक्राइब कीजिए ध्येय आईएएस चैनल को और बेल आइकन को दबाइए लेटेस्ट वीडियोस सबसे पहले देखने के लिए।
Farmers are on a protest in some parts of the country. The debate on the Farmers Produce, Trading and Commerce Act 2020 (FPTC) has seen some misinformation and qualms among stakeholders, especially for farmers in some states. There were certain reasons because of which the government had to introduce these changes. The FPTC Act gives farmers the freedom to sell and buy farm produce at any place in the country. The FPTC Act will only put pressure on APMC markets to become competitive. In today's edition of our DNS, we will be talking about the APMC and their drawbacks. From the 1960s, there have been efforts to bring entire wholesale markets for agricultural produce in various states under the Agriculture Produce Market Regulation (APMC) Act. Only states like Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir and Manipur did not enact these laws. Firstly, let us know about the APMC. What is it? Agricultural Produce Market Committee is a system operating under the state government. Since agricultural marketing is a state subject that has yards or mandis in the market, area that regulates the notified agricultural produce and livestock. The introduction of APMC was to limit the occurrence of distressed sale by the farmers under the pressure and exploitation of creditors and other intermediaries. According to the APMC Act, it mandates that the sale and purchase of agricultural commodities is carried out in a particular market area. The producer or seller or traders pay the requisite market fee, user charges, levies and commissions for the commission agent. These charges were levied irrespective of whether the sale took place inside APMC premises or outside. Also, the charges varied widely across the states and commodities. Now further, let us know about the achievements of APMC Act. In its initial years, APMC Act helped in removing the malpractices and free the farmers from the exploitative power of middlemen and mercantile capital. The best time for APMC Act lasted till around 1991. What were the drawbacks of APMC Act? Some of the drawbacks were recognized by experts and stakeholders, and pressure started mounting for changes in market regulations. With time, there was a loss in growth in the market facilities, and by the year 2006, it had declined to less than 1/4 of the growth in crop output. After this, there was no growth seen. It also increased the woes of Indian farmers as market facilities did not keep pace with the increase in output, and regulation did not allow farmers to sell outside the APMC market. Farmers had no choice left than to seek the help of middlemen. Because of poor market infrastructure, a lot of produce was sold in outside markets than in APMC mandi. Over the time, APMC markets had been turned from infrastructure services to a source of revenue generation. In many states, commission charges were also increased without any improvement in the services. And to avoid any protest from farmers against these high charges, most of these were required to be paid by buyers like the FCI. In states like Haryana and Punjab, mandi fees and regular development charges for wheat and non-basmati rice purchased by FCI are 4 to 6 times the charges for basmati rice purchased by the private players. This results in a heavy burden on the center and also increases the logistics cost for domestic produce and reduces trade competitiveness. Successive governments at the center had put in repeated attempts to persuade the state to make appropriate changes in their APMC acts, but for 18 long years, the progress in reforms remained very slow. The only choice left for the union government was either to ignore its responsibility towards the farmers or to use the constitutional route to address long pending issues of market reforms. The FPTC Act gives farmers the freedom to sell and buy farm produce at any place in the country in the APMC markets or outside the mandated area to any trader. The Act also allows transaction on electronic platforms to promote e-commerce in agricultural trade. The effect of the FPTC Act on APMC mandis will depend on the treatment meted out to the mandis and the charges and the levies. There is no threat from the FPTC Act to APMC mandis and their businesses in these states, as private traders and sellers will get benefits and commensurate with the mandi charges. The only and the real threat in some states to APMC mandis and their business is from excessive and unjustified charges levied under the APMC Act. The FPTC Act will only put pressure on the APMC markets to become competitive. Discussion with mandi officials revealed that a maximum of 1.5% of total charges distributed between market fee and commission are adequate to maintain and run the mandis. This will not push away traders from APMC markets, as they will receive the benefits of mandi infrastructure, bulk produce available in one place, and save cost required for individual transactions outside the market. The states which are actually interested in farmers' welfare should keep mandi charges below a reasonable level of 1.5%. This will also ensure the coexistence of APMC mandis and private channels permitted under the new Act in a true competitive spirit.